Good evening and welcome to the Job Search Solution, the radio program where we talk about looking for a job, changing jobs, changing careers, hiring. And as always, we begin with a prayer. Dear God, grant us thy peace and thy mercy, thy will be done. In this session, I'd like to discuss, because I get asked this quite often, what are the advantages what can a recruiter do for an individual that might be looking for a job and a company that might be looking for an individual? In this session, we're going to discuss what a recruiter can do for you as a candidate. Next week, we're going to discuss what a recruiter cannot do for an individual, because sometimes we're asked to do things that we really can't do. So here are the things we can do. We have a broad access of opportunities and knowledges of firms before they broadcast their opportunities to the world. 60 to 70% of the companies that we've worked with before, and we know them really well. For the most part, there are exceptions to this, of course. We have a much more in-depth knowledge about an opportunity and an individual could gain on his own. For instance, at least 20 to 25% of the hiring authorities we work with here at Babich were candidates of ours that we actually placed in their jobs. We can coach a candidate and help the candidate sell their attributes with knowing the competition for the position. We can provide that as an advantage to a candidate because we know our markets and we know them very well. Our average recruiter here at Babich and Associates has been in the business for 16 years. The average in the country is 1.5 years. And most of us are into our second or third career, and we know business and we know the people we work with. We can help a candidate manage the process of interviewing and negotiating. Because we deal with this kind of thing on a daily basis, we know how to do it better than an individual, even if they do it fairly often, which is at most every year or two. We're going to help a candidate maximize their compensation possibilities. Most of the time, the recruiter is compensated based on the salary package that a candidate might get. It is to the recruiter's best interest to help a person reach their compensation potential, but within reality. We coach people when they're asking for too much money too. We can provide you more job opportunities more quickly than a person can do for themselves. Most people don't deal with job opportunities or career moves on a daily basis. A good recruiter that's been doing it for a while does. The recruiter can help imply and of course work confidentially. Around 30% of the opportunities we work with are listed with us confidentially by the employers that we work with. Most top professionals don't want their job search floating around on the internet or elsewhere. About a third of the time that we are working with companies, they are looking to replace an individual and they don't want the opportunity broadcast, for instance, on the internet. A good recruiter many times has an intimate but objective view of the hiring company, the hiring authorities, and the politics of the specific hiring process. We have a tendency to get to know our companies really well and get to know the hiring authorities in those companies. We're comfortable with all of the steps in the process of getting hired. Metaphorically, we know when to run and we know when to stand still. Sometimes it's good to press in an interviewing in a hiring situation, and sometimes it's best not to. And then one of the major reasons that we are hired by both companies and individuals is we know what to do when things go wrong in the hiring process. And there's about 35 or 40% of the time that these processes that we work with get off on tangents, they get misdirected, they go in the wrong direction, and or things stall or things stop. And we know what to do because we deal with this on a daily basis. And for candidates especially, we try to get them multiple opportunities. So we just don't hang on one individual opportunity and wait for the process to unfold. Most candidates, when they work by themselves, will have a tendency to get hung up on one opportunity, think they're going to get hired, and then stop the interviewing process. We, above all, and probably most importantly, we manage a process. We don't focus on the result so much as we focus on the process. We help individuals and candidates manage a process of getting interviews, following through with those interviews, and trying to get job offers. And we know how to manage the process step by step. As many coaches will tell you, if you manage the process, you don't have to worry about the result. And our primary benefit to an individual in looking for a job is that we help manage a process and we focus on that process. Whereas most individuals, because they don't change jobs very often, want to focus on the result. And we understand every aspect of the process. In fact, managing the process is more important than the result. If we manage the process, we really don't have to worry about the result. So those are the things that a good recruiter can do for you. Next week, we'll discuss what a recruiter cannot do for you. Stay tuned. This is Tony Bashir with the Job Search Solution.